Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your Uncle Steve live from London. Yes, where a few hours ago the Atlanta Falcons took it on the chin 23-7. I know there are a lot of feelings about this game. Hopefully, we can talk about them in a calm, mature manner and discuss what the future of this team will be. I have one solid question for everyone when we come on here. Your current mood as a Falcons fan: optimistic, confused, angry, or embarrassed? Gotta ask, gotta put it out there. Come on and join your ump, man. Ain't nothing else going on. There's three blowout games at the 4 o'clock. So come on in. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on? It's your Uncle Steve again here live from across the pond here in London. Forgive me if they have any streaming problems here. It's been kind of up and down, kind of depends on where you are exactly. But at the moment, it looks like we're just fine. Uh, wow, I don't know what to say. First of all, the trip was outstanding, man. The folks here in England, especially the people here in the Wembley area, which is right around where we're staying. They have been absolutely fantastic. Uh, give them a lot of credit for uh, being great hosts to a lot of the fans coming over here, especially the Atlanta Falcon fans. I had a ball. I don't know if you all got a chance to see the video we did right after the game. A lot of the folks, people from Australia and all kinds of different places, um, a couple of from Germany, uh, just coming from everywhere to see some NFL football, and a lot of them came. I would say the majority of them came in Jaguars jerseys, but every NFL team pretty much was represented out there. So a fun time for that, and a great time to just commingle with some folks over here in Europe. Now let's get back to the more downer of a news. Now listen, I understand that a lot of people are going to be upset, and a lot of people have different opinions on where the Falcons should go after this particular game. Now, this is not the fix it show. This is usually not the minutia or anything like that. This is a reaction show to hear how you're feeling as a fan, because I think one of the things people expect, some people, they expect fans to act like analytical, you know, giant scientists or something like that. We're supposed to figure out what the route was supposed to be run. We're supposed to figure out the blocking scheme. We're supposed to know that the defense was supposed to play this particular part of the field and stuff like that. No, that's not what most fans do. You know what most fans do? Most fans look at the play, and most fans look at things and they say, that just doesn't look right. And I think we're at a point where, if we're honest with ourselves, folks, something doesn't look right. You're not going to tell me on the two interceptions that Desmond threw, which look eerily uh, similar to the interceptions Bryce Young threw in his first game against us in week one, where he just didn't see the guy coming across the middle. And yes, I know part of that, it's some young mistakes and stuff like that, but I don't know, y'all. This is the guy we've entrusted the franchise with in 2023. There are too many bright spots on this team. This is Steve talking. The defense, you gave up one offensive touchdown. Yes, there were some hiccups in the defensive coverage and everything, but I go back again. If you're giving up 20 points, 23 points, you're supposed to be at least in the game. The last 2 weeks, the Falcons have scored 13 points, and of that, one touchdown. And while you did have a little bit of excitement on the London touchdown, there was never a time in that game from the time that Jacksonville scored the first touchdown where you felt like this offense was going to be enough to overcome what Jacksonville was doing. And all Jacksonville was doing was sending like 6, 7, 8 people up front. And they knew Ritter wasn't going to throw the ball. And when he threw the ball, the results are as we thought they would be. So again, this is not a pile-on show. This is not Desmond is the worst thing to ever come out of college football. This is not that. But it is a reality check. So I want to know, just as a fan, how you were feeling. You can tell me what made you feel this way, but I've just got to ask. And again, those of you coming into us, especially on YouTube, make sure that you like the video. Atlanta Bird Gang, again, if you're watching us, I know we've had plenty of content on today. It's so weird. It seems like when we lose, we get more traffic than we do than when we lose. I'm sorry, when we lose, we get more traffic than when we win. But today, I just want to get an idea of where you are. So I just want to ask your current mood as a Falcon fan after 4 games. And you have 4 choices, and then you can tell me why. Optimistic, which is what a lot of people want you to believe. They want to say, nope, Ritter is young. He'll have time. Watch it, you'll see. I'm telling y'all, he's going to be this. He's going to be that. And folks, this is the time where you have to be honest. Even the first 2 games, aside of the fourth quarter against Green Bay, where I absolutely give him credit for getting us back in that game, folks, you can dazzle me with all that 15 out of 18 in game 1 for a measly 113 and try to tell me that's the framework for a quarterback in the NFL. Not going to work. Last week against Detroit, yes, we had an atrocious performance from our offensive tackles, McGarry, and the guards, Lindstrom. It was awful. But at the same time, we have to look in the mirror and say, is this really the guy to take us to the next level? Again, we have a defense. Jesse Bates, even on the play that they foolishly challenged, Jesse's out there still trying to cause turnovers, still working the defense. Yes, they might be getting picked apart a little bit, but it's not easy. They're not giving up the big play. That's for sure. And you give up 1 offensive touchdown. When your defense gives up 1 offensive touchdown and all you can do is 3 and out, interception, it gets frustrating. So again, optimistic, confused. Confused meaning I don't know whether the sky's falling on this team or whether, like everyone says, this is like Bette Midler in the Rose, where it's going to bloom in the spring and we'll forget about all the bad things that happen. But I'm just telling you right now, it doesn't seem like Desmond Ritter is taking root, because I'm still waiting for the rose to blossom. Bette Midler lied to us. So I just, the confused part is crazy. Anger. I know a lot of people are angry today. I don't blame you. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you how to feel. I would be angry too. Really, I would. This was, you were overseas. You basically came into a hostile environment. There were 85 or 86, 85,000 folks, they said, that came there. And I would say a good, probably 80% of the folks didn't wear Falcons stuff. A lot of them wore Jaguars. A lot of them wore their favorite NFL team. So I don't know. But a lot of fans came out there just angry. I'm not mad at that. Or just flat out embarrassed. We didn't have a lot of Falcons. Well, usually when you're at home and you're getting beat like that, people can easily get back on the highway and jump home. I guess the mere fact that we're overseas is not like you can get a rowboat and get a couple of oars and start swimming or start stroking to get back to the United States. So everyone kind of said, what the mess, might as well stay. So that's what I want to hear. Optimistic, confused, angry, or embarrassed. Let's go to the chat and check people out. First of all, before we get started, let me get first to the super chat that I have in here. That's my brother Greg is in the house. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Y'all make sure y'all check Greg out on Custom Kicks. I'm trying to put it up here. Sorry, y'all. Why is it not coming up? It might have died out on it. I'm sorry. Greg says, I'm upset. Ritter yells, I gotta go to work, but throws 2 interceptions with a man having lunch underneath. Uh, wow. Underneath the route. I seen that from where you at in London. It's crazy. Greg, I appreciate you, man. I'm so sorry we couldn't get that on it, but I always appreciate you jumping in with the super chats. Again, if y'all coming in, make sure y'all like the videos and whether you're on Facebook or YouTube and get this thing out here into the stratosphere of social media. Marina's in the house said it was an ugly win. It was ugly today, Unc. I was about to say win. I wish it was. Ain't nothing like a foreign behind whooping. Wow, that's deep. Tech Boy 85 says angry, bench Ritter. A lot of people. Damien, what's up, Damien? Says confused. I don't know who we are. Fair. Jeremy, what's up, Jeremy? Jeremy says angry. 18 pass plays and just 5 run plays combined to start the Lions and the Jag games. The start is killing us, Jeremy. The starts are absolutely killing us. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You gotta start better than that. Aaron, what's going on? Aaron said, hey, Steve, watching the game this morning, it's time to sit Ritter and hire an OC. I've heard a lot of people say that as well. Jeremy comes back, said this scheme isn't us. Smith's seat should be boiling. G, what's going on? G said, what's up? Where do we go from here? I'm assuming you're in the confused category. Aaron, thank you so much. Yes, we have had a great trip. I hope we have as great of a trip going back as we did coming. It was very nice. Facebook, what's going on? That's got to be my brother Macario. What's going on? Say thank you for sharing this experience with you over in London. Brother, it's my pleasure, man. I've had a ball. Family has had a ball. My wife and daughter have been over here and been helping me out greatly in bringing this experience to you all. So I appreciate them and appreciate you all being here to check it out. Jay Black says, nice to see you went to London to support our Falcons. I am unhappy with the outcome, but Ritter must go through growing pains to get better. And look, that sounds like a little optimism from Jay Black. This is not the show that we're going to demonize you again for your opinion. Jay Black says he thinks these are growing pains, and that's fine. Hey, that's why I asked the question. It's all good. Drew Statements is in the house. What's going on, man? Say, Uncle Steve, I'm not going to ask you how you are because, bruh, this was embarrassing. I really felt very embarrassed, especially at the end, because we just couldn't do anything. We couldn't do a thing. That last drive, without the remarkable antics of Bijan Robinson, 14 carries, 105 yards. I mean, yeah, he's something special. I feel like we're wasting his talent. I feel like we're wasting Kyle Pitt's talent. I feel like we're wasting Drake London's talent. We have very capable people like Tyler Algier who can run the ball. Jonnu Smith has finally, hit his stride, but at the same time, it's too many folks on this team to be just force feeding Bijan and trying to force the ball to Drake. It is. And if you listen to the press conference from Arthur Smith, he made no excuses about the interceptions. And though he takes it on, well, it's not just one person. Of course, we know it's not just one person, but at the same time, he did acknowledge that he tried to force it into Drake. And I understand it was a cute little story last year when he was coming in for Mariota. He and Drake has this good connection. Now it's not funny anymore. First 2 games, Ritter's going to be the most improved player of the year. Okay. Dub Chase. What's up, Dub? He says, free Kyle Pitts. Oh, man. Dre says, well, yes, I am. How are you outside of this game? So, man, I'm doing fine, Dre. Thanks for asking, man. Like I said, again, enjoying this trip. Hopefully, we'll be back in the States tomorrow for probably a late edition of the Minutia. Uh, just to take that deep breath again. I know we started a little early, earlier than normal. So, we'll be more than 24 hours after the game to kind of discuss where we are and where we plan to go. Jay and D Truck, what's going on, brother? I've been getting your messages, man. Thank you so much for speaking on the past streams, brother. I appreciate it. 3rd and 1, and we go 5 wide. LOL, Arthur Smith is a problem and not in a good way. Jay, I'm going to not mark you down for angry. Damien says, is it Ritter or Arthur's play calling? Here's the problem. I think it's both. I think it's a combination. I think maybe Arthur's play calling might not work for Ritter's skill set. Plain and simple. I think a lot of folks have really attempted to mind trick everyone into thinking that he's going to develop into this particular quarterback. I think what y'all are seeing, I'm not saying he couldn't get some of these things better, but I think you're seeing close to the max of what he's going to give you. And one of the things that kind of bothers me, it's because when we try to talk about, well, you have to give him time to develop. Well, you have to give him time to do. Folks, I'm sitting out here watching CJ Stroud, who's coming into the Benz next week. And Lord, this is the wrong time for him to come. I'm watching when he's in the game, Anthony Richardson, which I'm trying to see, was he part of that game today? And I don't even know. I'm about to check real quick, and I don't think he was. But even if he wasn't, but you saw flashes of him. So you saw teams go out there and get some talent. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. So again, horrible game from completions and 11 for 25, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 98 ratings, which can be deceiving, but you see flashes of what he can be. Somebody tell me in this chat, what flashes have you seen from Desmond that lets you believe he has an improvement jump that's going to make us all turn our heads in the next, I don't know, 10 to 12 games? I don't see it. I don't. But maybe somebody else does. Dre says most fans look at results. That's what we do. The fans are not looking at all of the things. It bothers me sometimes when I hear the ESPN guys. Look, again, they're bringing us into the game. They want us to know certain things that's going on. And yes, does it look like the offensive line sometimes can block a little better? Absolutely. Does it look like sometimes the receivers give up the route on the routes? Absolutely. But I'm also looking at the quarterback and saying, you know what? Maybe this cat just isn't it. And that's where I am. G says, I don't feel good about where we are right now. I'm very concerned about the coaching staff and the offense. Join the club, brother. Jay Black says, Ritter is the rookie, and we should have expected his performance in the first 6 games. We got to hang in there and give him the opportunity to grow. And again, Jay goes on the optimistic side. Here's the problem, Jay. All summer long, we were force-fed that he was going to be the guy. I hear what you're saying about developing. I hear what you're saying about patience, and you're right. To a certain extent, we have to expect that. But wow, when you look at what the other things that we haven't seen this team do, we have a defense on the field that I swear, if we were scoring at least 20 points a game, there's a possibility we could be 4-0. But that offense has got to help them out. It's got to. As my buddy Joseph Evans in the house. What's up, bro, Joe? He says, gotta play Heineke when the offense is not working. Now, I know it would have been easy to make that switch to him. And I know a lot of people were calling for him, including myself during the game, during the emotion of the game. But I also understand why, as a coach, when you've gone through all the, the game plan and things of that nature, and you bring somebody in at the last second, it could disrupt things even more. Uh, did Ritter 100% redeem himself with that particular uh, touchdown pass to Drake, which Drake made a great uh, correction on there and got in front of the cornerback? Yes, probably, but still a lot that I don't see from the young man, man. He said, we got to win at all costs. I believe we do. Carrie, how you doing, ma'am? Says, hi, how do you like London? Is it your first time? I'm a big soccer fan, so it's a dream of mine to get to England. It's my first time back here in about 30 plus years. I was in the military here in the 90s. I actually got a chance to go as a high school student back in the 80s. So it's very nice to see. I didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to go into the city of London as much. We are literally around Wembley Stadium, but there's a beautiful outlet park down here. We're right next to the Wembley Arena where they have the little smaller concerts and things of that nature. So we've had a good opportunity. And yeah, if you get a chance to come, I know it's going to be a very enjoyable place, folks. Jay Black says we need to stop expecting Ritter to shine out of the gate. The play calling needs to stay away from the middle and so much in the passing route concept. See, here's the problem again, Jay. Even with your optimism, here's the problem, folks. I don't care where your team is. I don't care whether you have the worst team in the NFL or the best team in the NFL. Every fan expects their quarterback to perform. There is no team in the NFL that we're saying, okay, we're putting them in here and we know we're going to have growing pains. So y'all just stand by and deal with it. I get what you're saying. It's logical what you're saying. But we're fans. Fans are going to fan. So if and again, if you have the very optimistic route, I'm not going to take that away from you, and that's fine. And I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't blame anybody else for being upset about this stuff. Joseph come back and say, win at every cost, hurt some feelings. Dre says Jacksonville was not good. Jacksonville was not good at all. Man, let me bring back the numbers on Jacksonville real quick. Jacksonville did not rock the house today. Jacksonville today, Trevor was 23 for 30, 207. Now, he did have a couple of big runs for first downs. I keep hearing about this athleticism of Ritter. And yeah, he did a little 6-yard run, and then that was about it. Etienne only had 55 yards. Tank Bisbee had one little carry for 6 yards. He spread the ball around. Of course, Calvin caught that obligatory touchdown that we need for him to get us that second round draft pick. But it's not like they wiped us off the mat. That's what makes it so embarrassing to me, because this is a team you really should have beat. And I don't care how you put it. You should have beat this team. Just like you should have. The Detroit team, to me, was a much tougher challenge because I really do think physically they are a better team than Jacksonville. But you let Jacksonville, again, those interceptions are going to happen. Even the biggest of quarterbacks have bad days. That's no problem. But a lot of times, the real ones, they'll come back and at least make it competitive for you. Facebook user says, I know we lost and we look like we didn't have a plan after our last game, but we look like we can't adapt to the first punch in our mouth. But that's a problem. And I heard somebody say, well, this team isn't built to score. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it right. This team isn't built to score like that. Huh? What you mean this team isn't built to score like that? You're an NFL team. There's no NFL team that aspires to get to 17 and stop. See Miami. See Buffalo, what they did to Miami today. You don't aspire to only score 3 touchdowns and just run the whole clock. I understand there's a little bit of philosophy there when you start talking about that, but you better try to score on every single opportunity you have. And I'm not saying Atlanta isn't trying to score, but whatever they're doing isn't working. I love that Coach Smith is falling on the sword in his press conferences, but that's going to get old after a while. You know what? It'll really get old? It'll get old if you're 2-3 next week. Nephew, Armani Newsom says it's over for Ritter. Armani could have told us about this a couple of years ago when Alabama wiped him off the mat, but you know. Brigida Johnson, what's going on, sis? Said disappointment. It's time for a parent-teacher conference about the performance of the offense and where we need to go to make improvements. Clayton, what's up? Said, what's up? Win two, lose two. It's not a good look. It seems like nothing has changed from last season except our D. We definitely look better on D this year. I really want to brag about the Falcons. Listen, again, you said it best. This is where we were last year. This is where we were last year at this time. We were 2-2. And the difference was I think we had won the last two games instead of jumping out to the 2-0 start and now losing. It's a bad feeling, y'all. It's an ugly feeling. J&D Trucks, I feel like Mac Hollis frustrated. Did you see that? I know y'all saw that. We're going to talk more about it on the minutia tomorrow. This early in the season, a young quarterback, you don't want to lose your team. And the Mac Hollis scene, it was bad. You heard Desmond allude to it without alluding specifically to it about getting them back together. So, yeah. Ray, how you doing, sir? Good to see you in the house. Dre says, I feel 3 out of the 4 emotions, but if I had to choose one, I would say confused because I don't know what we're doing on offense. Actually, you know what? I bet you if Arthur Smith could do this little survey, I bet you he'd say the same thing too. He's confused. Dexter say I'm calling for Matt Ryan. Hey, Matt said I've been there too many times. I ain't falling for that. No, sir. Charles B in the house. What's going on, Charles? Facebook user says confused. I thought they'd be 2-2 at this point in the season, but it's how they are 2-2. Today was very winnable with decent quarterback play. The defense is doing their part, which is not something we said that often here. And again, another accolade for the defense. Folks, it's not brain surgery. The defense in the last couple of games, they gave up 1 touchdown today, and I'm talking about offensively. They gave up 1 touchdown offensively today, 2 touchdowns against Detroit. I think 3 touchdowns against Green Bay, but again, we shut them down when we needed to. And then the game against Carolina, we gave up 1 touchdown. So it's not like the defense isn't showing up in the whole 60 minutes. We have to balance that out with the offense. You do. Clayton says between Coach Smith and Ritter is killing us. Don't want interviews anymore because they beat around the bush. I've been give up on Coach Smith, but Ritter though, it's your time to shine. Wake up. I hope so. Facebook user says the quarter pole of the season, 2-2. It's a long season. I won't panic as a fan. Gotta let this process play out. Another optimistic fan. And again, this is not this. Neither of these are wrong answers, folks. None of the choices are. But I just want to hear how people are feeling, and because I'm kind of a little bit of mixture of all 4 of them, to be quite honest with you. So that's why I wanted to know how you all were feeling about that. I'm sorry, Augusta Gator, what's going on, man? He said, I hate these London games. The atmosphere was great, though. I'm going to tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. The atmosphere was outstanding for the games. I got to give credit where credit is due. Another super chat in here, this time from my brother Dre. What's going on again, Dre? Thank you so much for the 50. I'm talking like I'm over in England, 50 pounds. The $5 super chat said, Unc, I thought I would never say this, but we might need to bring your boy. That's right. Call Felipe Franks, man. Dre, try to get me in trouble, man. Oh, man. Dre, I appreciate you, man. Thank you as always for supporting the channel, man. Thank you. Aaron says, as a fan, I feel like we are back at square one with the offense. Got to be better play calling. Quarterback got to play better. Um, Slim Dollar says, what's up, Slim? Says, I've been saying this since week one. You can't hide a poor quarterback behind your run game because defenses will expose your weakness and force your quarterback to put the game on his shoulder, and Ritter can't do that. For those of you who didn't hear me the other day, I told the story about my father-in-law being an umpire in softball, and I was one of those guys that, because I didn't think people were ever throwing perfect softballs, I'd always take walks and let them try to perfectly throw the ball in. Well, he would always, even if the ball was way out of my range, he would always call it a strike. And I turned to him and like, what you doing? He said, got to make you a hitter. So in this particular case, defense are saying to Ritter, I'm going to make you a passer. I'm going to make you beat me through the air. And so far we've come with, well, it's 2-2, it's mixed results, but the last 3 out of these 4 games, folks. And yes, don't be baffled by the 15 out of 18. 3 of these 4 games, Ritter has not looked like an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry, he doesn't. Say what you want to say, he hasn't. We can sit here, and it has nothing to do with your passion. I saw passionate fans in this stadium, and I'm not telling you if you didn't go, that makes you less of a fan, but I am telling you if you did make the trip over to London to see the Atlanta Falcons, I don't think you need to show me your calling card as what you think about the team. But I saw disenchanted fans coming out this stadium saying, change the quarterback, fire Coach Smith, because they're angry because they just want to see something. They want to see an effort. We didn't even see a one-score game today. We saw one team play average and beat us. So that it's a big difference, man. Again, if y'all just coming in, Uncle Steve's Lounge or on Atlanta Bird Game on Facebook, please, 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 please make sure you like the video for me. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us so you can continue to get this content throughout the season. We appreciate you all as always. Huckabuck71 is in the house. What's going on, man? Says Arthur Smith is not helping this young quarterback. Yes, Desmond is a problem, but your head coach is out of element, period. And, you know, that could be it. A lot of us have blamed Desmond Ritter for a lot of stuff. And, you know, he did look horrible today. But at the end of the day, Coach Smith said one right thing at the press conference: this starts with me. You have to put him in position to win. You have to put him, if he lacks in this particular skill set, then you need to put skill sets, a plan in that plays to his strengths. And if you're putting things in that he can't play up to the task, then you got number 4 sitting on that sideline. And today you activated your third quarterback, which I thought was kind of strange, that you activated him and sat down Clark Phillips today and still didn't make any moves. Again, I don't think do I 100%, my emotion as a fan in the moment was to sit him down, but I understand that he didn't want to sit him down in that game. I get it. That's embarrassing to him. When you're trying to build a young quarterback, you can't just pull the hook on him real early. You can't. And what you have in your pocket, the equity that you do have, you are 2-2. You have 2 wins. If you were 0-4, this would be a whole different conversation to me. Let's get it, GA. What's going on, man? Says been saying it since day one. Desmond Ritter cannot read a defense, and Arthur Smith's scheme is trash. We lack big play abilities. He's not creative in his pass schemes. That's just the truth. I sounds like a little embarrassed to me. Oblivion Empire, what's going on, sir? Was at work at the Buffalo Bills Stadium. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. You saw a real game then. Because Buffalo was scoring with no remorse there. Gator says it's the same old, same old. 3 squares a day and the Falcons letting us down. It's the norm. It's a shame too, Gator. Gator, it's a shame because I don't want that to be the norm. I want this to change. I want this to be different. But let's get at GA's point. You keep trying to do the same thing over and over again. Yeah, folks, I hear y'all with the patience. I hear you with we got to let them grow and whatever. Somebody tell me What has he done, Desmond, that has been something that you can say, oh man, that's a little bit of that's a strength that he has as a quarterback. Be honest with me and tell me, what have you seen from that? I don't think there's a I don't think you can give me an answer. And please don't tell me it's heart and grit, because you can't see that. Please don't tell me that. I'm talking about physical skills, physical things that he's done on the field that make you say he's gonna blossom into this more than average quarterback. Barbara Ridley, how you doing, ma'am? She says angry and embarrassed. She took two of them. Hate to tell you, I told you so. But on your last live, yes, you did. You said Ritter ain't it. Matter of fact, she picked the Jaguars to win. I remember. Arthur Smith needs to be fired. I had us losing to the Jags. So frustrating. 13 points in 2 games is unacceptable. And it is. It is. Absolutely it is. Brother Rusty Moore is up there, man. And I know Rusty be banging the drum up there in North Carolina, man. I don't know what to tell you, Russ. Say embarrassing. The scheme doesn't work in today's NFL. It really doesn't work with a garbage quarterback. Really need to start thinking of our next head coach, Terry, suspect too, with drafting a tight end to start the rebuild. All these things coming back to roost, y'all. Coming back to roost. I'm gonna tell y'all before I introduce the next guy. Today, my wife and I came in, and so I'm ready to see my creators, my fellow Atlanta creators. So my buddy Tidy, who represents on the Atlanta Bird game, was on, and it just so happened. So I'm assuming this was a banging episode for Tidy and the crew, and Tidy was letting them have it, and he should have. And I was sitting right there listening to him, and as angry as he was, because again, when Tidy bangs, you know it's coming. But it was nothing but truth serum. And some of us, we've been given the elixir of lollipops and rainbows and jelly beans, and he's given us the elixir of, look, y'all, this ain't passing the test. We just had Tampa Bay destroy New Orleans today. And we are now sitting in the NFC South, albeit 2-2, and thank God for that, at a Tampa Bay team that most folks thought were going to win 2 games this year. And we're sitting here struggling with a Jacksonville team that didn't have a rusher get over 60 yards. And we couldn't even get decent offense on them. So I just had to bring that up because Tiny gave us our best laugh coming into her. Again, y'all make sure y'all watch Atlanta Bird Gang always. I know tomorrow, I'm pretty sure he'll have the player grades on tomorrow on Monday, and I'll shoot in after him sometime tomorrow night with the Monday Minutia. But he says angry, confused, and disappointed. Sorry, I know you said just one. It's all good. Said team is trending the wrong way and the entire world knew it. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Billy Mills says, Unc, I used to say Riddle will be fine. Shoot. Can I take that back? Nah, Billy, you got to stand on what you stand. I'll just play it with you. 3:30, who checked on me and made sure we were getting out here to London on time. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for checking in. Say, Uncle Steve, a lot of people on Ritter, but in my opinion, we have to address coaching and play calling first. I hope this doesn't create separation in the locker room. Saw some emotions on the sideline, and especially offensively. Yes, you're gonna see if you are. Think about this, Dirty. We scored 1 touchdown in 8 quarters. A team that was actually in the first 2 games getting some touchdowns, making some plays defensively, and now all of a sudden you can't score a touchdown. It's frustrating. I don't blame them. Facebook user says, I'm all for brother. I'm optimistic because I'm a true fan and I'm believing. I'm confused about our play calling. I'm angry because we had a good team and we can't get the ball in the right hands. I'm embarrassed because every year I have to see what happens to us. I feel you 100%, bro. 100%. Uh, Rusty says Falcons should reimburse you for those travel costs. You paid to see that jump, baby. You hear Rusty say we need to get a voucher. But oh man. Um, Tiny says, did Tyler make the trip? No, he did not. He did not this time. He has his classes that he was dealing with. And Tyler will be riding high when we go into the Houston game and stuff. But he missed this trip this go round. But hopefully he'll get a chance next time. I know we're supposed to be doing some Germany stuff with the Falcons next go round. Hopefully he'll make it with us on that one. Clayton says, side note, the games you do go to, you need to do more live interviews at the game. You're killing it. Thank you, Clayton. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a lot of help today. My wife and my daughter were kind of helping me out because sometimes when I go to the games, I want to do the interviews, but I also want to be honest. I want to promote the channel and things like that. So they gave me the reign and the freedom to do that, and they were able to talk to the people afterwards. Got a chance to speak to a lot of good folks. If you're watching this and you haven't watched the video we did earlier in Wembley Stadium, which I think is about 4 or 5 hours ago, please check it out for me and just push a like on the video if you like what you see. I think we were just trying to get the raw emotions of not only Falcon fans, but some of the European folks who were there that were just saying they love the experience and things like that. It really is. Really was a cool little thing. My buddy Cyrus is in the house. What's going on, brother? Says we knew Mariota wasn't a part of our future. The Ritter experiment should have been last year. Time for the backup. Ritter can't hit moving targets. At some point, Cyrus, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, is this progressing? And I know you one of them ride or dies like I am. And we want to give him the opportunity. Folks, don't mistake, these choices that I'm saying for somebody who has given up on the season. Wrong person. But we have to look honestly, truly, and say, is what we're doing now going to be successful down the line? Look at our schedule the next 4 weeks. We have Houston, Washington, Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken, the Commanders. These are not teams that we should be struggling against. These are teams that we should be putting up W's. And if we can't beat a Jacksonville team, that doesn't look like the team that won the division last year for the AFC South, probably because the AFC South was in our position, not a great division. But that was not a great team yesterday. Today that we played. That wasn't a great team. So we have to kind of look in the mirror and see. Travis has one word. He sounded like Charlie Brown after Lucy pulled that football. Drew says, yeah, talk about Ritter in London. Said, yeah, that was a cute connection until it wasn't. Absolutely. And even today, I wasn't ready to, be all gloriful and that stuff today. Marina says, very concerning that Arthur Smith found a way to incorporate Jonnu before Pitts. Do you think the injury is still lingering? I know a lot of people saw last week that Pitts pulled up on a couple of routes. I saw Pitts going full speed today. He looked like he was fine. I think he's just not getting the ball. He's not getting the ball. And you can't tell me that Matt Ryan, who got the ball to him enough for him to get 1,000 yards, and Matt still spread the ball around. And now all of a sudden, he's like basically a third option now. And now a fourth that you're throwing Jonnu Smith the ball. It makes you wonder. I know Tidy was talking about it last week. Prospects of trading Kyle Pitts. It's not a give up move. It's not a move where you're saying we don't trust the team, but it's something to say, okay, if we can get this done, throwing to Jonnu Smith and throwing to Michael Pruitt and folks like that and get some assets back, maybe we do need to think about it. I'm not telling you that's 100% to do this week, but I'm saying it's something to think about. You got 15, I'm not 15, you have 13 more of these for the rest of the year. you better start taking them seriously. You do. Because if I hear one more person say, it's only game 4, then next week, when you lose next week, it's only game 5. You can't go through doing like that. You can't. And Arthur Smith knows this. He sounded like he did today at that press conference. He sounded like somebody talked to him. He wasn't smart alecky. He wasn't, like he's really, most of the time, he's usually, kind of giving it back to the reporters and stuff. He sounded like the Godfather talked to him from up top. Or Terry might have told him, say, hey, bro, man, I just put these kids in private school, man. You need to step your game up. We'll both be out here on Realtor.com. I don't know, man. WCG says Ritter lacks talent, and look at him double clutching. Yeah, the 2 plays he stared to do that. All the defense has to do no, I take that back. A decent safety, not even a great safety. If you see where the quarterback is looking from the time he hiked the ball, and you could just jump, dude, that was so dude just jumped that route so easy, so simply. King, what's going on? King Richie in the house said the defense gave up 10 points. We should have won that one. Clayton says, I don't think Ritter knows how to read defenses. He tried, but he hasn't figured it out. Is it not college or high school? Travis says, what have I seen? Not a dang thing. Oh, my God. Drew says, I'm going to disagree, Uncle. I honestly feel like he is willing for bad situation play calling. He keeps putting us in 3rd and 1 this week, last week, 2nd and 10. We run a screen, 5-8 yard behind screen. Yeah, those screens that we're throwing, that we're basically making laterals for, those get on my nerves too, big time. Jalen Britt's in the house says Shedeur Sanders next year. I don't know, man. You listen to Dion. I'm not sure if Shedeur is going to come out this year. They trying to act like Shedeur is going to stay around. But him and Caleb lit it up the other day, right? That was awesome. I didn't get a chance to see one highlight. I just saw on ESPN. Dude, the BBC, these folks do not like pro football. We have not seen one highlight unless it was like a short. Can't get YouTube over here you can't get the NFL ticket for YouTube over here. Just a lot of restrictions. So for the first time, like a good crack addict, I don't have my drugs to kind of get my fix, my football fix. Tomorrow night, I'm probably going to be running to the TV and like right up on it. Because the only football I've seen is that massacre out there at Wembley Stadium earlier today. And that was just too much. WCG says, I don't know if it's true, but London apparently told him to blank off. Really? I don't know. Gator says, don't understand how we in this podiatrist. No, I know what you mean. Pedestrian on this offense with the talent we have. Say, I don't understand it either. That one Falcons fan, what's going on? I'm gonna slip down here to a couple of people who haven't come on. Remember what I said last time? Yes, I do. Yeah, now I mean that by 1,000%. Yeah, and listen, you were telling it like you felt it. I don't. Again, this is a platform for y'all to tell me how you feel, not for me to tell you what's right or wrong. That's why I love to hear different opinions, because a lot of times, y'all, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what they're doing. So I look for guidance. I look for somebody to help me. I don't sit here and try to point out and tell you everything, the sky is falling, whatever. I want to hear perspectives that say, you know what, Steve, it might be this. You know what, it might be that. I'd rather do that than look down on somebody else's opinion. Folks, again, as y'all coming in, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you press like on the YouTube. videos and on Facebook, please, again, push the like button on there too. We're going to jump down again to some folks that we've heard from a couple of times. Slim Dollar says, I think they should have pulled Ritter at half. And the reason why is because you saw the players are getting ticked at Ritter off the Smith is next. When you turn the players off, that's a problem. Listen out for a team meeting this week, folks. I think that's going to happen. I really think we're going to be talking team meeting because you cannot, what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait too long. People will say, it's only 2 games, Steve. No, you got 17 of these, folks. You can't let that negative attitude, that negative response seep into that locker room because that's worse than anything. And if y'all see that start to happen, the team is really in trouble. Forget the fans. If your fellow man, your fellow roster person isn't believing in you, then you lost anyway, whether you're a coach or the quarterback. And think about, many of you have alluded to this. This is the best we've seen this defense play since 2017. We are wasting efforts from this defense. If this defense was on the team last year, we would have won the NFC South by 3 games. But because of the ineptitude of the offense, we're not able to capitalize on what this defense is doing. We've got to be better, y'all. Stephon Mosley, what's up, man? Said, what's good, Uncle Steve? That game was some BS. I said it on Friday on your show. Play calling. And look, y'all, I'm not even arguing with y'all on that. That play calling is big. Stephon also says, I hope your travels was good. It is. We still got one more leg to go. So again, like I said, if everything goes well, I'll see you all tomorrow evening, hopefully for the Monday Minutia, and we'll go over everything again and see what's going on. Kenzel says, we just stunk up London, man. Quarterback play was trash. Offensive line can't pass block once again. Is it too late to say Caleb Williams? Yeah, Caleb Williams, Shadur Sanders, Michael Penix. You know, there was a time after game week 1 and week 2, Kenzel, where I was like, man, how y'all saying this? What y'all talking about? We got to stick it out. I don't know. Because what do you want to be, y'all? Do y'all want to be the team with the CJ Stroud, the Anthony Richardson, that have some freakish talents to them, but we just haven't unlocked? Or do you want to be the team that's trying to force feed a 3rd-round talent into making him feel like you're going to make him fit? And I think that's what we're doing. I think we're making believe that this guy's going to fit. And I don't think that's happening. 330 says, first season Cap Hill, second season bargain shop for players. What we got to fall back on this season just to justify poor performance? I don't know. But if you don't change anything in the next couple of weeks, boy, it's going to be a long, long season. I'll tell you that right now. I appreciate y'all, man. Let me get to another super chat. That's my brother Greg in the house again. Greg Custom Kicks, man. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Again, we've been sponsoring Greg shoes at a lot of places we've been going this year. I appreciate you, Greg. Says goes back to what you said at the beginning of the season. Just giving him the starting job, because the question is, if he earned it, would he be this bad? I said that, Greg, and I stand by that, folks. You have to earn things. You got to earn this job. We can't just give it to you. And I think that's why you see some of the angst going around, because did he really earn this job? Did him and Tyler Heineke actually both have a fair shot at this job? I'm not sitting here telling you Taylor Heineke was the end all be all, but have we really given him an opportunity to compete and see what happens? I don't even care at this point if you have a package for Taylor to come in there. Maybe when we get into long situations, when we get into situations where it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 15, or 3rd and 7, we can bring some different looks in or something. But every time I saw 3rd and 15 or something like that, I just got ready to say, hey, just get in position for the punt. And Pinion had a nice game today, too. He flipped the field a few times for the defense. Good for him. Bruce is in the house. What's going on, Bruce? He said it's all Smith's fault, bad play calling, and everyone is blaming Ritter. Like it's his calling all the plays himself. Bruce, I'm sorry, Smith is used to having quarterbacks that are broken in already. Here's the thing, Bruce. Again, it goes back to kind of what I just said. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that Arthur Smith's play calling has been A1. There are no Bill Walsh vibes coming from him whatsoever. But at the end of the day, too, I'm sure that some of these play calls that he plays, if you have the quarterback with the skill set to make those plays happen, I think you would be in good shape. I really do. I think you know what I think what it is, and I'm not making excuses for Arthur Smith. I think he's at a point where, you know what, I don't trust my quarterback throwing the ball 10 to 15 yards down the field. It really seems like that. Now, does the offensive line have to get better? Absolutely. Do we really need to make sure these routes being run by the wide receiver are crisp? Absolutely. But it helps to have a quarterback with a nice skill set too. It really does. I'm telling y'all. Jalen Britt says the defense is too good to not get any help from Ritter. He has been throwing in the double coverage all season, and it won't take you long, folks. It won't take. People gonna turn. I've heard today some fans that I never thought would turn on Ritter, and they turned on this day, straight up. He said, "Didn't Felipe Franks play quarterback today?" I don't know. Maybe he was in disguise. WCG also says, how do we know Arthur Smith can't play call? He had trash in Mariota and starting to look like more trash in Ritter. Actually, that might be a fair point. That might be. John Higgins is here. What's going on, John? Said, Uncle Steve, what's happening with you? What's the talk? The talk is you got 4 choices, brother. 4 choices. You got optimistic, confused, angry, or embarrassed. That's where we are today. Russell White, what's going on, man? Russell says, at least the Bulldogs win. Barely. I saw that too. I didn't get a chance to see the game, but they had to win in the last minute. So, hey, I hope they keep going. Frank Rozier is here. What's going on? Said Ritter is trash. Frank said, cut through all the minutia, Steve. Stop with all the stuff. He said, Ritter is trash, and we need a real quarterback. I hear you, Frank. I guess disappointed, it would be your call. JJ, what's going on? Jay said, so realistically, as it is today, we really, wait a minute, let me go back to this one. You're lucky you corrected it. So as of today, we are realistically a playoff contender or pretender. I'm thoroughly embarrassed. You would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have said a contender. But if you have a quarterback that cannot get you down the field, and yes, folks, I am willing to admit, play calling is a huge part of what's going on. But got to be able to throw the ball. Got to. Terrence Jones, what's up, Terrence? Said it once before, but people said we need to be patient. I said it when we drafted him, shaking my head. Nobody listened. Now everyone is mad, but told you Arthur Smith knew what he had in Ritter time. Ritter time is almost up. Terrence said, I ain't playing with y'all no more. I tried to tell y'all. Again, folks, remember, competition. Vega Man, what's going on, Vega Man? I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Magic Man, I noticed y'all coming. And look, I see where y'all coming from. Vega Man, y'all coming from over there with my brother Larry in the house, the Dixon Way. Thank you for joining me. Please tell me that y'all brought a Braves win. I didn't see. I saw it was 7-7 last I checked. But I mean, actually, it doesn't really matter. We clinched home field and all of that. And speaking of those playoffs, if y'all want to watch live reaction videos on YouTube, please check out my buddy Larry and Shonda over on the Dixon Way. They will have you set for this upcoming playoff series. We're going to have a bye this first round, and then kind of depends on who wins in these matchups as to see we'll have the lower seed of whoever's left coming into playoffs. But please make sure you make your way over to the Dixon Way. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for bringing the folks over to me too. Again, as y'all coming in, please make sure y'all like the video and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for coming over. I appreciate it. ATL Focus says another tack. They done messed up. Letting be the quarterback. Oh my goodness. Y'all giving it to him. Raymond, what's up? Raymond says that's what the problem is there, Unc. He hasn't put Ritter in the best situation and is stunting his play. Staring down receivers and passes on 3rd and 1 sets a bad tempo for us. If I had $1 for every time I heard somebody say staring down the quarterback today when I was leaving, I would have probably left a rich man. Again, I know I have some vision problems, but I saw him stare those guys down. Christy Lewis is in the house. How you doing, Miss Christy? Says, how likely would anyone with as many sacks, hits Ritter has received would maintain confidence? When Ritter was more mobile in the first 2 games, no one looked at the offensive line then either. Now, I will say this, Christy, being fair, that first half of the Carolina game, the offensive line wasn't giving him a lot of stuff. And they made some adjustments, and they gave him, a little better pocket to deal with. But you're absolutely right. You're not going to get confidence when you're getting slapped around and stuff. And yes, they got some sacks in on him. But the 2 particular plays that we're talking about, yeah, he had plenty of room. And I'm not making excuses for the offensive line. They've got to play better. For the team to play better, everyone has to do their part. You're not going to tell me one person can absolutely do it himself, even though Bijan is trying his best to be that person. But even he can't do it without some of the help of the block. So you're right, Christy, to an extent. Everyone has to come together and do things. But in this particular case, I'm sorry, I cannot excuse bad play at the quarterback position. I just can't do it. I just cannot in good conscience do it. Slim says Ritter looked down his receivers like he's a stalker. Ritter holds the ball because he's trying to look for the big plays. Then when the big plays are open, he overthrows them. Ritter is a Pro Bowl pick. Oh, y'all making me laugh today, boy. Demetrius says that's why Mac Hollis was getting Ritter's behind on the sideline. And again, Demetrius, if you're a wide receiver and you see these things and dude, you're gonna get frustrated. And all of the, quarterback come over to the offensive line and the wide receivers to dap them up, say, yeah, we'll get them. At some point, that's gonna get old. And I think Mac Hollis just said, hey, bruh, enough of that, do it. Enough of all the talk, do it. Enough of the commercials, do it. Enough of all the fiery speeches and we all got to be together on that. No, bruh, just throw me the ball. Wait. Throw me the ball with accuracy. Because all that other stuff gets old after a while. Matt Town Dirty in the house said, what's up, Smith ain't it, and Ritter should be benched and taking notes. This isn't, there is nothing coming out of these comments today that I'm taking as anger. I'm taking as hate toward Ritter. I'm not even talking hate towards Arthur Smith. I think everybody's statements here are saying they want a better product. They want better results. They want some better stuff on the field. We gotta be real with each other. If we're not gonna be real with each other, we can sit here and keep putting that sunshine up all of our behinds and acting like things are gonna get better. And it's not happening. At least the last 2 games. Trace says castor oil. Eric Parker, man, what's going on, brother? I saw you earlier there say, after this game, I'm sure Desmond Ritter's confidence is low. He promised us a Super Bowl when he was drafted. He's given us a super low. I'm sure he realizes college is not like the NFL. And Eric, I want to make sure people understand. It's not like I'm not saying, even as atrocious as that performance was today, I'm still not telling you I don't want to give the young man a shot. Now, but in order to give him a shot, the Falcons have to make everything perfect. And sometimes the really good quarterbacks, you don't have to be perfect. Sometimes they are able to improvise. Today, Ta Trevor Lawrence is not a top 10 quarterback, but you know what he did on a couple of those plays? He improvised. And when you can improvise, and when your offense is struggling, then it makes you all look better. It does. It really does. I got two super chats in here. My brother Vincent Moore, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. He said, "What's up? This reminds me of the Chris Redmond days." Oh my God, man, you really going back. But in fairness to Chris Redmond was selling insurance prior to the Michael Vick season. So he thought he was going to make a couple of policy purchases, or people were going to buy a couple of policies. Next thing you know, he's starting for a team. So he has way more excuses than Desmond Ritter does, and a much better team. The second super chat is from my brother Padre. What is going on, man? Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Say, what's up, Unc? How does a head coach put a team together that he seemingly doesn't have the first clue on how to use? He's exposed because too much of the offense is broken. Cadillacs leaking in the showroom. Well, that's good. Padre, first, thank you very much. And you know, I think we did put this team together very well. But as I've said on numerous occasions, and I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face or until people understand this, the quarterback is the most important position in North American sports. I don't care how you put it. And please don't tell me about the 1985 Bears. Please don't tell me about the 2000 Ravens. Please don't tell me about some obscure quarterback that made a mistake and won the Super Bowl because his defense was so great. You don't win in the league unless your quarterback is decent, unless your quarterback is above average. You don't. And so, Padre, yes, he put this team together, but he put this team together for a quarterback of a different skill set. Man, if you put Trevor Lawrence on this team right now, and Trevor isn't the end all be all, you put him on this team right here, they would be contending with Kansas City right now. They wouldn't have come into this game 1-2. So that's what I'm saying, folks. It's really not that hard to figure out. It's really not. So it's crazy. Thank you, Padre, again, man. I totally appreciate that, man. I'm going back there. I'm really trying to catch a couple of people I haven't seen on here. Jaqual says silver lining defense only gave up 16 points, and we did mention that, Jaqual. Defense have been really good. Barbara Ridley throwing out another. Barbara, we can't have you making predictions because you were right this last time. So we're gonna need you to mute these predictions. She says we losing to the Texans. Mercedes-Benz will be half empty and the half will be Texas fans. I will say this. I disagree with that. I don't think the Texas fans travel like that. And I do think maybe being back home, maybe we can get a little bit of mojo, but somebody else was saying this. What's the stat? Well, first it was the stat Desmond doesn't turn the ball over. We've seen that, one fumble and two interceptions, and then Desmond hasn't lost a game at home since college, and none of that is relevant at this point when you're 2-2 and look as bad as we did. So you know, Christy says I'm not giving another team credit. The Aints just played just like us, really similar offensive plays. That is all. Fair point. Coming down here again. I'm sorry. William Amy is in the house. William says fired the third head coach. Man, that's crazy. David says embarrassed. As I said on the Friday brunch, I've seen enough. John Higgins says, well, Uncle Steve, we're in trouble. The D is playing lights out. The O is looking terrible, and I don't think it can be fixed. I'm signing off. I'll get back with you. Thank you, brother John. Appreciate you, man. And all of you that's coming in, again, appreciate all the likes, appreciate all the comments. Everybody's very appreciated coming into the platform on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, like the video, especially on YouTube. And then on Facebook, please like the video as well. Eric Mack says, Ritter ain't him. Michael James Murphy says, I was embarrassed at home For all the Falcons nation, Arthur Smith is an assistant coach, not a head coach. Ritter is a backup, not a starter. Ooh, ooh. Gotta preaching. Gotta preaching. I'm feeling you. Nando, I knew Nando was coming in sooner or later. What's going on? Nando says unacceptable and embarrassed. That's true. Mills is in the house. What's going on, man? Say, I keep saying Arthur's going to wait too late to pull the trigger because his pride won't let him say he was wrong about Ritter, and his play calling has got to get better. At some point, he might not have a choice. Damian Taylor says he's staring down receivers. Antonio Holiday, I'm sorry, Antonio Holloway, what's going on, Antonio? Said this Texas game won't be a cakewalk. No, it won't, because they're coming in hot. They're coming in hot, man. Atlanta supporters in here. What's going on, Atlanta supporters? Said changes need to happen for Atlanta Falcons to win. Russell White said it's time to rise up and take out the garbage and grab my blood. Let me start over. He said it's time to grab my blood pressure medicine while you are still taking out the garbage. Dang, y'all are wrong. Island Mike is in the house, man. Said if Ritter plays the whole season, we will have a losing record, period. I'm going to tell you something. I think the hook is shorter than we think. Do I think they're going to start Ritter this next game? Yes. But I think we can't go get up to game 6 and be under 500. I don't think the rest of the team will. I don't even think that's fair to the other team if we do that. We got to figure out a way. Larry says Arthur Smith got his job from Derrick Henry and the best offensive line in the NFL, plain and simple. His offensive play calling is really bad. And I heard Larry say this before, and he's absolutely right. I mean, you rolled off the very, very tough legs of Derrick Henry and parlayed that into a head coaching job. And yes, the running game is good, in good hands with Bijan and Tyler Algier, but we got to be more than that. Williams says we're not ready to win on offense right now. Shaka Zulu is in the house. Shaka says Terry invested much money into this team to allow Art to waste this season behind Ritter. Fair. Facebook user says starting to look like Dez in the third quarter was a major reach. Oh my goodness, y'all are hitting home runs, man. Philip Crawford, as I know, you don't have to tell me, Philip. I know you love your team. He said, but as I said from the beginning, a third round pick will play like a third round pick. Rise up. Facebook user said I was dead wrong about Ritter. He looks like he's not progressing and Art isn't helping. Todd is in the house. Todd says, Uncle Steve, Ritter didn't earn the job. We gave it to him, and he ain't deserve it. Todd, you echoing thoughts that I've talked about this summer. I said it all along. He did not have a competition. They named him the quarterback prior to the draft, if y'all remember. They named him quarterback. Say he's going to be the QB1. That was and brought Tyler Heineke in and Taylor Heineke in, and there was no talk of we're going to have competition. We pushing each other, but no, you told the man he was going to be the starting quarterback. So I don't know. Michael says Mac Jones got benched. Belichick would bench Ritter with no problem. His mustache, but mustache is his friend. Y'all are wrong. Sugar and Meg, how you doing? It says Ritter is holding his team back. The Falcons and the Jets are very similar. Good defenses and running games, but bad quarterback play. That's a very good analogy right there with the Jets. I get the O-line sucks, but you can't continue to stare down receivers. The reason why Sugar and Meg, why I'm kind of when I want to be honest about the offensive line play and pass protection. But then if you flip it around, it's the same offensive line that's getting these holes for Bijan Robinson, for Tyler Algier. Now I'm calling Tyler Algier Taylor. For Tyler Algier to make those holes. So it's kind of like you can't be both. So, but you're absolutely right. Everything you just said in this is absolutely right. Facebook user says Falcons need to get one of these young quarterbacks in college. It's clear we need more talent at that position. Man, that's crazy. I'm Chris. Says 9 points in 4 quarters. Who that? Oh man. Yeah, the Saints are in a bad place too, man. Oh man. Coming back at the end. Another Padre super chat. Thank you so much, Padre. Again, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks. Says if Arthur Smith gets fired and I lose Nielsen as a DC, we're gonna have to show. He gonna have to show me what the man's do. Hello, I'll hang up and listen. Listen, let me tell you something. Nielsen ain't going nowhere. Nielsen has revitalized his defense. He is going nowhere. That's the one thing I can probably assure you of. He has absolutely come in here, and when your defense is averaging, giving up less than 20 from 20 points and less during the game, and you also have to think about the situations. Last week against Detroit, we even with all the three and outs that the Falcons were doing last week, the Falcons defense still had only given up 13 points leading into the fourth quarter, and then eventually the defense is going to get tired. Today actually was another one of those days. That last field goal, I don't look at that as a real whatever. To be honest with you, I think they just said, you know what, we're gonna run it or do little dump passes until the Falcons stop it. So in my book, I only say the offense scored 13 points. I know the last field goal made it 16, and then the 7 with the pick 6. But I look at the Falcons not doing as bad. Uh, Shaka Zulu says, you admitted you were wrong about the Bijan pick. I'm going to admit that I was wrong about Ritter. Man, look, Shaka, and you know what, Shaka, on both accounts, yeah, I was absolutely wrong about the Bijan pick, and I'm glad that it turned out. But I'm definitely not going to ride you about the Ritter thing because you want us to win. And I think, in my opinion, when Bijan was picked, I was looking at what Jalen Carter could do for this team. So neither one of us saying what we thought was for the Falcons to be worse. We were looking at for what our teams could do better. So I don't ever look at that as I told you so or nothing like that. You and I are fans that express our opinions, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. It is what it is. Cody Paul is in the house. Says Matt Collins wasn't hearing you mean Hollins wasn't hearing it from Ritter. He already lost the locker room. It's tough. Dre coming in at the last minute. Dre, you should have been up here earlier, brother. I would have had you all over here. He said, dang, just watching you. What's up? I'm probably a little off, man. Like I said, we're still over here. We're getting ready to come back home pretty soon. So I'll catch up with y'all on the minutia tomorrow. Chris says Smith is trash and his ego is going to cause him to lose the job. When he said that at half, uh, that it's not an option to play Tyler, that's a problem. That is a problem. That's a huge problem. Chris Rogers says Ritter's pocket presence is awful. That's something else. You know, Chris, you put on that too. Yes, the offensive line has to give you protection, but at some point, man, just like Trevor, why? Yeah, learning to mature into an offense. Every quarterback has to do it, from Peyton Manning up to Desmond Ritter. Everyone has to do it. They do. But there does come a time when I'm going to need you to do that a little bit better than you did 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago against Carolina, you can't keep making the same mistakes. They beefed up the protection in the second half of that Panthers game, and we did better. Sometimes you got to do this stuff on your own. You can't depend on them to give you the perfect pocket every time. I saw Trevor Lawrence not have the perfect pocket because, hey, the pressure was coming today. I know it only showed up in 2 sacks, but ask Trevor how many times he got hit today. The pressure was coming, but he also knew how to react to it. Yeah, I know y'all gonna say it's 3 years, but he learned from those bad times that he had. There are some people that want to come in here and say, treat Desmond Ritter like he's a rookie because he's only started 7 games. No, don't do that because it's the same. Well, now it's 8 games. Don't do that because you were the same ones that were saying he had 4 years experience. So that makes him a second-year quarterback. Got to make up your mind on that one. Keep you in the house. What's going on? He said, I got up at 5 a.m. to watch that bloop show. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Uh, Miss B is in the house. How you doing, Miss B? Hey, Uncle Steve. Hoping that you're having fun out there in London. Besides this horrible game today, yes, we are having absolute fun. Me and my wife and my daughter have had a ball. We've enjoyed ourselves. Actually, went to TGI Fridays after the game. Of course, we had to hear Duval the whole time while we were here, but nevertheless, just always a great opportunity to get out with the family and enjoy some of the sights all around. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Scott said Ritter was awful today. It's time for this Taylor Heineke show. If I can pronounce it right, I keep pronouncing his name right. Chill Rodney's in the house. So what's up, man? I'm walking the plank right now, trying not to jump off the ship. Don't jump, man. We need you, brother. Don't jump. Don't jump. Oh man, one more super chat in here. Coming in. I appreciate you. Vincent says, and thank you for the $5 super chat, Vincent. As always, thank you, sir. If Matt was still on the team, we would be a playoff team. The defense only giving up 19.25 points per game over the last 4 games. Vincent, I'm sure as Matt is he's doing those games for CBS. I know he's looking over there saying, "Man, I can't believe they done messed around." But in fairness, Vincent, uh, Matt would have had to take a monumental pay cut, and I know the Ice Cubes ain't hearing that, and I know Sarah ain't hearing that. So, got to take the good or take the bad. So depends on how you want to look at it. Um, Julian Rollins, how you doing? Says, why don't they put in Woodside? He played the whole preseason and has the most chemistry with everybody. Julian, I know a lot of people were surprised at how good Woodside played during the preseason, but I will tell you this: if Woodside were to come into the game, I'm pretty sure right now, as good as he played, I'm pretty sure right now our season is probably in the dumper. And that's no knock on him, but I don't think the way we're playing right now, I I don't know if you want to put him in that position either. I really don't. Matt Town Dirty says receivers in there, Bernie Mac voice. What you keep looking at? What you keep looking at for? Oh, the great Bernie Mac, man. It's something else, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Um, I saw one more in here. Oh, Stephen Alford is in the house. What's going on, Stephen? Says we need to start get Malik Cunningham. Somebody, it's so funny you say that, Stephen. Somebody else mentioned Malik Cunningham before New England braces his talent and makes him a starter. Because Malik looked nice in the preseason too. Speaking of Woodside and people who look good. Listen, y'all remember they restructured Jake's contract. I'm not trying to start rumors, spread rumors, whatever. I, Maybe there's a contingency plan somewhere. Maybe we were waiting to see if something might happen. I don't know. It's not a good stream unless Ghost Peppers is in the house. What's going on? Ghost Peppers says he's got to be honest here. Smith's scheme and Ritter's quarterback play is costing this team games. Not only is he not producing, but they're messing up a good defense we finally got this year. It's interesting. The same thing that I hear Ghost say, it sounds like 70% of y'all are saying the same thing. We're saying play calling, we're saying Ritter's play, and we're saying messing up this defense. And we are not hateful. We are not the people that's going to sit down. Matter of fact, I know Ghost was like, look, we went all this offseason talking about the different scenarios of different quarterbacks and how we're going to do things. I still say if Ritter were a tick better, we wouldn't have these problems. You know what's bothering me right now? Right now, we're allowing a Tampa Bay team to get some confidence. I don't know what Bryce Young's going to turn out to be, but let's hope he doesn't improve because that's a quarterback we're going to have to deal with in the future if he gets better. So this was the chance for us to sneak in this year, and it's not over. But this is the opportunity. Folks, I still in my heart of heart thinks this team had the ability to be 4-0 right now. But you know what? Enough of the ifs and buts. We're 2-2. But you better be in the think tank. You better be in the lab figuring out how to get this thing turned around, or you're going to get the number of fans that we have up here and appreciate the over 100 I see over here in the chat, you're going to find a lot of people that are going to get disconnected with this team and they're not going to support you. I hope it's not like I think that was Barbara saying earlier in the chat where half of them are Texans. I don't think we're going to have that next week. Lose a couple of more games, you're going to be in that position. Juan Solo, I appreciate you. Juan says Ritter quarterback a vision worse than Vic. Oh man, no 5 days. Man, he said he is George Harrington reincarnated. David Spuddy said, let's trade Ritter to Chicago for some practice pads. All these comedians coming from. Is he gonna trade him for some practice pads? Y'all are wrong. Y'all are absolutely wrong, man. Franchise Chisel, you're gonna have the last word tonight. Franchise Chisel says, yes, Matt Hollins is angry with Ritter, and I don't blame him. It's like he want to throw the game away on purpose. And I don't think he is, folks. Listen, this might have been the worst showing he had, not even might have been. This is the worst showing he has as a pro. One of the things we're going to see, and folks, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, Ritter coming back. Get your mindset. Ritter is going to play against the Texans. So I hope everybody doesn't get upset at that. This is not Steve making breaking news. Desmond Ritter is going to start the next game. So when he starts the next game, I just want y'all to know ahead of time. Can he overcome this? We'll find out. But right now, as fans, that's why I wanted to ask the question. And as y'all coming in, if people are watching the replays on this, I appreciate it. The traffic has been real heavy, and I appreciate this. Thank you so much. The internet has held up, too. Thank goodness. It's a real good thing. Just keep continuing to answer into the chat, whether you're optimistic, confused, angry, or embarrassed. Again, as y'all are leaving today, please make sure y'all hit the like button on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't. Tell a friend if you haven't. This is what we're going to do every time after the games, whether we're in Atlanta, London, or wherever we are. We're going to come back and try to give you some of the best content we can as Atlanta Falcon fans. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining us here in London. We'll be back in the States before you know it for a late night edition of the Monday Minutia. Until then, everyone have a blessed evening, and we'll see y'all later on. Thank you so much for the support tonight. Y'all have a good one.